Hey, Herbalife team, great to be with you. Listen, this is something that, I've got wow, where I'm delivering all this amazing knowledge, my opinion, because it made a big difference in my life in some way, right? From all these other people. And that can apply over at wow, the YouTube channel, and which you're probably on, or access this somehow. If you haven't, check out wow for another great vault of just great stuff one-on-one with me. But I wanted to make sure that we had a vault, a library for specific, like if I could have you one-on-one in my living room, wherever, right? At your bar after hours at the club, and we're just sitting there, right? And I could really tell you, man, after almost 30 years of experience at the time of this recording, these are like the critical 6 things that I would focus on, and I wish I had the discernment and had somebody like spell it out for me, like I'm about to do for you in the next several minutes, right? So this is video 1 of maybe a collection of things that are specifically related to you and I as Herbalife distributors, and you very well may be able to take some of the proponents and apply them, right, to your everyday life and other areas of life, even other businesses outside of your Herbalife distributorship. So let's go right 1 through 6. Okay, so here we go, rapid fire. Number 1, right? Number 1 critical thing to your business in terms of short, mid, and long-term success. All of these. Number 1, absolutely a photographed and written and heartfelt verbal rendering. So you got to practice this, right? A way to convey your story in a packaged way. So number 1 would be a packaged product story, but I'm unpacking that, pun intended, so that you understand what I mean. So your mentor has a little form, old school, all the way back to Mark Hughes days, right? That allows you to kind of fill in the blanks, and now you've got the shape of your story no matter what it is. From there, we can turn it into conversational, right? So it's very, fluid and not awkward and just very natural, right? But we also want to have stats. So pounds lost, fat percentage lost, muscle pounds gained, whatever the stat would be. I mean, we have some outrageous health things that happen when we get the body right? And the body does that, but we got to tell it correctly, but note those things. Every difference that's been made, right? And then finally in this number 1, this one has a little unpacking, right? Is photographs. Of course, we are in the social media world today. So being able to, even digitally, right, to be able to pass along and put your story out there for people to see, and we'll coach you on this. Don't just go blindly do it. We'll help you craft these things. The written version, the oral version, right? Verbally telling it in a minute or less. We call it your elevator, product story. And then also that third thing, your photograph and what we say about it. And we have the proper disclaimer on there, right? That is absolutely necessary, right? Write the why down behind number 1, then we'll move on quickly. The reason behind it is that every success I've had in the business, right? And I can't tell you how much money Herbalife's paid me, but it would have taken forever, right? To earn this kind of money as a U.S. Marine. So I want you to understand that every success point I have, I can track it back to either my transformation or my plus another few people that I like, product stories that are targeted toward my, what I'm doing, right? A few stories. So it's either my story or collection stories really are the beginning point, the genesis of every bright light in my business. Okay. Huge reason why number 1. Okay. Number 2, quickly. We can do a product presentation. So when someone responds, goes, hey, tell me more, right? I want to gain, I want to lose, I want to do this, I want to do that. We can do a product presentation well. And write this down right below, okay? Well, in a duplication sense, means that out of every 3 product presentations or less, some people less, okay? But we want to hit this point where every 3 we're doing, we're getting a client with products at home, right? To have a personalized program, right? So how are you going to accomplish that? You're going to do 3 to 6 of these with your mentor. Your people, their people's people, you're listening, watching, right? And it's very simple. It follows a very simple flow. We just adjust for the situation and, of course, the client's needs, what we're going to present as the end result. But what we do in a product presentation, once we have somebody that said, tell me more, give me a break, tell them more. But we got to have a way to do that in a compact and clear and compelling way, right? So not salesy in a negative way, but very well put together. We have that. So if you haven't seen that yet, if you're coming from the customer side and are now a distributor, you could think back to that, right? When you originally learned about the products. But if you haven't seen that yet, or maybe you need a refresher, don't worry. As you get people raising their hand, which may be even happening for you right now, if not, if you're working, it's going to happen. Your mentorship line will support you, help you do those presentations, and get you clear on what you use, your bullet notes, the slide deck, the before and after photos. There is a way we have for you to do that already works very well. You just get to get familiar with it and practice it like anything else, right? You've shared your results and others. People are interested. They badly want those results, and they're literally lining up to talk to you. We got to have a professional and succinct way to deliver that so we can do it over and over again on repeat. And more importantly, we're in the duplication business. So remember, we're going to teach that to someone so they can do it just like you or better. First two of the critical 6, guys. Okay, number 3, packaged income and lifestyle story. Now we're not going to need to unpack this. Just take everything from number 1 we just talked about. That applies here to number 3. So make sure you get all that in your notes. But this is, the written version, the verbal, version that you can orate, speak, right, in a minute or less, and it's some photos to kind of document what you're talking about. So here's the key thing I want to give you, because we don't have to unpack this one, but I want to give you a distinction that a lot of us make. I know if I didn't have the warning, like I was leaning this way when I was young, right, in the business, and just getting going to supervisor to world team, starting to build an organization, starting to, of course, have customers, but I was new, right? I thought Tim, needed a big money story to make a big impact in the marketplace. Bullshit. Can I just help you just shatter that? That's a myth, okay? Because let's take today, 2023, as I'm recording this, almost 2024. Listen, an extra $500 a month, all the studies that we can prove are true, all the studies, all the data shows an extra $500 a month. Think about yourself. What if I just, boom, here's an extra 5 bones, right? And you got that every month. How would, that makes significant changes, right? We can't go buy a Ferrari, but we can do a lot with 500 if we really squeeze all the juice from the fruit, right? So when you make an extra $300 next week, getting 2 or 3 clients, hello, huge deal. You may not think it is, but it's huge. So what you want to think about is the money's one thing, right? But think about it this way. How many people are you working with to impact? How many people are you helping? It's a key metric. How many, how much money did you make from that, right? About how many hours did you put in to make that? And here's the big thing. Show the impact of the income. See, we tend to think the income's the issue. No, we got to state the income because they're wanting to make money, right? So we're telling this part of the story, not being gauche about it, okay? Being very respectful, but sharing the money. But get away from the money once you say it and talk in your story about the impact. I was able to take my family of 6 out to eat for the first time in 6 months, right? And I'm helping 4 people in the community, and that's even bigger than taking my family out, watching them transform. Man, you got to get in on this thing. We need help. See how that lands for you? So understand the flavor, the spices and the juices of critical point number 3, packaged income and lifestyle story. Yeah? Cool. Let's go to number 4. You can do a business presentation. This is a repeat of 2, right? But now you can do a business presentation well. What does that mean? You're sponsoring 1 out of every 3 distributors that you present to, or prospects. One person's going, yep, sign me up, this is for me, okay? Or better, right? Same ratio as the customer. Now, here's the two things I would tell you. Just jot this down. We're not going to cover it here. These are their own trainings, and you can do it with your mentor. Okay, you don't need me. So the two types of business presentations that really have stood the test of time, have always been relevant, right? Using different mediums and so forth, but always been relevant, are the napkin presentation. Just jot it down. It literally means you can draw out the marketing plan and how we get paid on a napkin in a few minutes and show someone, okay, when they ask you. That usually then leads to an opportunity meeting of some kind, right? You know, where we're explaining the business. There's so many names for this, but whatever, right? You understand that's an event. And so you can do that with a few people. You can bring them to an event that already is occurring. And again, your mentorship line will definitely lock you in on this as you say, hey, John, you know, upline John, supervisor, hey, John, you know, I've got two people that want to know more about the business. Boom. Okay. And we'll do this. But you can learn the napkin presentation. You can study how to present the opportunity in a few different cool, current ways that are going on in the marketplace, and just begin to incorporate that knowledge, that vernacular, the vocabulary, all of that. Yeah? Okay, awesome. Number 5, you can draw out the marketing plan. There's no unpacking needed here. Just write this down verbatim. If I gave you, right, here's my notes, but if I gave you a blank piece of paper or asked you to draw it out on some app, whatever you're comfortable with, you could draw the marketing plan from distributor to president's team. Okay? There's about 8, 9, 10 levels there, right? Nothing beyond that is needed, just distributor to president's team. And for Get, Mill, and Pres, those points, they build on each other. So once you know Get, it's just this for Mill and just that for Pres, right? So this is not a lot. Don't get overwhelmed, but you need to be able to draw that out and explain it. It will tie into your napkin presentation the more familiar you are with the marketing plan. Trust me, they go hand in hand like salt and pepper, okay? Number 6, final. You can write out on your list of your paper, write your phone, whatever, you can draw out your current list of goals. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I'm sacrificing time with my family. I'm doing this after I'm already tired after a job or a current business. I'm a full-time mom or dad. I put in a full day at the house, cleaning, kids, all these things to manage the household, right? And make sure the family has what it needs. I'm already doing a lot. So how much time do you have? What do you really want? And don't worry so much about what timeline you think you can get that. I mean, tell us, but we'll help you with that piece. Sometimes that's the hardest. But it's pretty easy to say, look, I need this much extra money a month. Why? It's not the George Washingtons that you need, right? Or the Ben Franklins. It's not that. It's what that money can do for you. So do you have a list of goals of what is it that you want? What can it do for you? Why do you want that, right? Once you give us that, you'll be focused on it, and you're going to carry this with you. We're going to help you take this list and do some fun things with it to activate high science and really program yourself so you even take the actions more easily and consistently. It's amazing what the programming can do when you take the reins yourself, okay? So we're going to show you some of that cool stuff and how it's worked for us, and really how it just drives you to do more of the physical stuff you need to be doing. Think of it that way, right? It's just a cool little life hack that helps you do better than you would without it. So we're going to show you all these things and work with you, but I'm telling you, if you can master these 6 things, you will go wherever you want in the Herbalife marketing plan. And when you can teach these things and help your guys master them, all the other things are based on what kind of genre are we in, what's popular in our market at the time. There'll be all those little things, but these critical 6, these are the 6 things that will take you anywhere you want to go in Herbalife, and anybody you sponsor if you're just willing to jump in and do the work consistently. Talk soon.